What if I told you a German town would pay you just to move there? Sounds amazing, right? But there's a catch. Today, we're uncovering the town that's literally paying newcomers and what you need to know before taking the deal. The towns making these offers. Several municipalities across Germany, particularly in rural areas of the eastern states, have launched incentive programs to attract new residents and breathe life back into shrinking communities. Towns in regions like Saxony, Thuringia, and Brandenburg are offering financial support ranging from 5,000 to as much as 30,000 euros to people willing to relocate and settle there. Some towns provide the money as a single payment, while others distribute it over several years to encourage long-term commitment. These programs often focus on attracting families with children, young professionals, skilled workers, and sometimes retirees who are open to relocating to quieter areas. Each town designs its own package of benefits and conditions. In some places, newcomers can receive free or heavily discounted building plots, along with cash incentives. Others offer subsidized housing, assistance with renovation costs, or help covering relocation expenses. A few municipalities even support newcomers by helping them find local employment or offering grants to start small businesses, hoping to stimulate local economies. Importantly, these places are not just tiny villages with only a handful of residents. Many are fully functioning small towns with populations in the thousands, offering schools, shops, healthcare services, and public infrastructure. However, years of population decline have left many homes empty and communities aging. By encouraging new residents to move in, local governments hope to stabilize populations, support local businesses, and restore energy and vitality to towns that have slowly been losing people for decades. What they actually expect from you. The money isn't free. Every town has strict conditions. First, you must commit to living there for at least 5 to 10 years. If you leave early, you have to repay the incentive, sometimes with added interest or penalties. Second, many programs require you to buy or build a house within 2 years, meaning you cannot simply rent long-term. Third, some towns expect newcomers to work locally or run a business in the area, and remote work for companies elsewhere may not always qualify. Fourth, applicants must prove financial stability beyond the incentive because municipalities want residents who can support themselves long-term. Fifth, certain programs include age limits or prioritize families with young children, aiming to bring younger populations back into aging communities. Sixth, integration into local life is often expected, with some towns encouraging or even requiring participation in community events or volunteer activities. The goal is not just to add residents, but to rebuild active, connected communities. 7. Some municipalities monitor renovation or settlement progress to ensure newcomers truly commit to improving the property and community. 8. Certain incentives are paid in stages, meaning residents receive funds only after meeting specific milestones. And finally, demand for these programs can be competitive, so not everyone who applies is accepted, as towns carefully select residents who fit their long-term development plans. The real cost of free money. The financial reality behind these relocation incentives is more complicated than it first appears. While 30,000 euros may sound generous, it represents only a small portion of the total commitment required to settle in these areas. Buying a home, even in cheaper rural regions, can still cost between 60 and 100,000 euros, depending on the property's condition. Building a new home is even more expensive, often reaching 200,000 euros or more. In both cases, the government incentive only covers a fraction of the overall cost, meaning most newcomers still need to secure a mortgage that meets Germany's strict bank lending requirements. Beyond the initial purchase or construction costs, homeowners must also handle ongoing expenses. Property taxes, insurance, and routine maintenance quickly add up. Utility bills, especially heating during Germany's long winters, can be particularly costly in older or poorly insulated homes. Most programs also require residents to stay for a set number of years. If someone leaves early or fails to meet residency requirements, they may have to repay the incentive, sometimes with additional penalties. Living in remote areas also increases transportation expenses since nearly everything requires driving, from grocery shopping to commuting to work. Job opportunities in these regions are often limited, which can mean lower salaries compared to larger cities. What daily life actually looks like. Reality rarely matches expectations. These towns have basic services, but basic is key. Shops close early, often by 6 p.m. Many businesses close Sundays and Mondays. Restaurant options are limited to a few German places. Entertainment means local festivals, sports clubs, maybe a small cinema. The social scene revolves around groups that have known each other for decades. Breaking in takes years. Many locals speak dialect that's hard to understand. Without fluent German, isolation intensifies. Healthcare is adequate but limited. Specialists require travel to larger cities. Internet speeds often disappoint. Public transportation is sparse. You'll drive everywhere. The slow pace sounds nice, but can feel suffocating. Who actually succeeds with these programs? Certain people thrive while others crash. Successful residents are typically families with young children prioritizing safety, space, and lower costs over career advancement. Remote workers with stable income from outside companies do well, though they must verify employment qualifies. Retirees meeting age requirements with guaranteed pensions enjoy slower pace and lower expenses. Entrepreneurs willing to start businesses serving local needs can build stable lives. People with family ties to the region have built-in social networks. Germans or EU citizens avoid visa complications. Those genuinely enjoying small-town life, outdoor activities, and community involvement find fulfillment. The common thread is realistic expectations and genuine desire for this lifestyle, not chasing money. The hidden catches nobody mentions. Beyond official requirements, unspoken challenges trip up newcomers. The bureaucracy is intense. German paperwork is legendary, and small-town officials work limited hours. Processing requests takes months. Building permits are detailed and expensive. Cultural integration is harder than expected. Small German towns have established hierarchies. Outsiders remain outsiders for years. Local politics can be petty. Weather is harsher than promotional materials suggest. Winters are long, dark, and cold. Seasonal depression affects many newcomers. The job market is terrible beyond basic trades. If your remote job ends, finding local employment matching your skills is nearly impossible. Selling property later is extremely difficult. These areas have more sellers than buyers, meaning huge losses or inability to sell when you want to leave. Healthcare waits grow as regions lose doctors. The legal and practical requirements. Navigating the application process requires careful attention and preparation. Programs often have very limited spots and strict deadlines. Applications are detailed and demanding, typically requiring financial statements, proof of employment, and motivation letters. Background checks are standard, and some towns even interview applicants in person. Acceptance is never guaranteed. If you are approved, you must sign contracts in German that legally bind you for several years and often include strict penalty clauses. You will also need German health insurance immediately, which is mandatory and can be expensive. Additional bureaucratic tasks, like vehicle registration, converting your driver's license, and other official paperwork can take weeks. Finding suitable housing within program parameters is often difficult. Towns usually have limited housing stock, and available homes often require renovation. Should you take the money and move? Is this opportunity worth it? That depends on honest self-assessment. If you thrive in small communities, speak decent German or commit to learning, have stable remote income or portable skills, enjoy outdoor activities and quiet living, don't need constant entertainment, can handle bureaucracy patiently, and want to raise a family in a safe environment, then yes, these programs offer real value. The money helps offset moving and housing costs. However, if you're chasing money without wanting the lifestyle, speak little German without serious learning plans, need career advancement and professional networking, depend on urban amenities and cultural activities, have health issues requiring specialist care, or view this as temporary adventure rather than long-term commitment, then no, you'll likely regret it. The incentive won't compensate for years of unhappiness. These programs work when your goals align with what the town offers. Do extensive research, visit multiple times in different seasons, talk to current residents including transplants, and be honest about whether you can handle the trade-offs for a decade. Would you move for money if the catch was worth it? If this surprised you, hit like and subscribe for more unbelievable stories from Germany and beyond. And don't miss my next video on the world's craziest relocation offers.